Well, this river is a lot deeper than it looks, as John Thompson and Maurice Zamatin are currently finding out. Their aquaplaning, Zarko Magnum, currently first in Class P, but hot on their heels, Lance Trethui and Jeff Minnett in the Mortimer Tour to bat. The pair now being allowed past by Thompson.
Jannie Visser and Joks Leroux from Rubicon Racing are just outside the top 10, but the pair still very happy with the way things are going.
Sitting in a surprising 9th in class, Moy River winners Schroeder and Bardnos from Atlas Copco Ford Racing, having suffered fuel pressure problems in qualifying. You can see visuals very tough inside and some confusion about which way to go. Unfortunately, passing a dormant Keith Makanete, he rolled his car and is out of the race.
Mohammed Musa enjoying life in a production vehicle in his first Donaldson cross-country outing. He and Regent Racing teammate Bix Carolyn an encouraging 4th in Class S.
Musa's teammates Marsh and celeb navigator Neil Tovey finding things a lot tougher than on the football pitch.
Neil famously lifted the Africa Cup of Nations trophy in 1996. Will he repeat the feat with regards to the Celebrity Challenge title?
Let's see. Now back to the specials. Derek Dutour and Craig Gray, their Batspec 5 caked in mud, but they're closely followed by a production vehicle. Jason Fenter and Vince van Alleman from 4x4 Megaworld Toyota Hilux.
Another Regent Racing Nissan Navara, this one belonging to Archie Rutherford and Gerard Skitter, experienced punctures and misfires in qualifying.
Going along rather gingerly, Rob Walk and Ashley Thorne in their Aceco K9 Dog.
Problems here for Kobus van Tonder and Freddie Creel. Their Unifreight Ford Ranger coming to a standstill.
Maar ek weet iets klinkie lekker en ons het nie brieke nie. So ons moet maar bang ons kry verdere skade. Nou trek ons maar eerder uit.
So after 85 Ks, Poulter and Howie remain first, followed by Castrol Toyota teammates Taylor and Murphy, while the Horn brothers are doing a sterling job.
In the specials, the Silvalds, Quinton and Cully lead the way. Hutchison and Stassen are second, while the Duplessis round off the top 3.
Nice manoeuvring there from Castrol Toyota pair Taylor and Murphy. They had an exceptional 2013. Can they do it again in 2014?
But look, sidelined without a wheel, Poulter and Howie. And it looks as if their race is over, meaning we have a new leader.
The concerned teammates stopping to help. Up to second now, the Mullilan Toyota team of Johan and Vanna Horn.
In third place, Deploy and Janse van Vieren from RFS in their Ford Ranger. A podium very much on the cards now for these two.
Leading the way in the specials, Quinton and Cully Silvalt. Quinton having just returned from Greece, and it looks like the time off hardly affected his driving abilities.
We spoke about the difficulty of driving through sugarcane, and here the forest proving just as bad for Hutchison and Stassen. And they're slowing down with what sounds to be a wheel that's come off. That would be a disaster.
Up to fourth place, Johan van Staden and Mike Lawrenson from Atlas Copco. Correction, they're now third. Deploy and Janse van Rensburg sidelined with what looks to be a puncture.
They continue to surprise all the Duplessis, now lying second in the specials in their Jimco.
Henny de Klerk and Johan Smallberger in their Treasury 1 BMW X3 enjoying a clean run.
Next up, and apparently having a better day, Whitehouse and Myberg from Regent Racing.
First in Class S, Loderbrain and Rian Hreiling in the Rubicon Racing Ford.
And they've got a bit of a gap on Fenter and Palmer from 4x4 Mega World, also doing battle in Class S.
The front runner in Class P, Johan Thompson and Maurice Zamatin in their Zarko Magnum.
The Rubicon racing outfit of Jannie Visser and Joks Leroux currently lying third in Class S.
Looking very lost is the Atlas Copco Ford Racing pair of Schroeder and Badenhorst. The team captured the checkered flag at Mooi River, but they're a long way off from that in this race. And as they get their bearings, they're overtaken by Rundle and Cummings.
Musa and racing veteran Carolyn, their Regent Racing Nissan Navara going strong.
Also going strong, the Region Racing celeb pair of Marsh and Tovey.
As for the side-by-sides in Class G, Brian Kappa and Jaco Swart leading from the front for Regent Racing.
Kappa, of course, a renowned bike rider, and he's taken to this like a duck to water, winning in Mooi River, and he looks well on his way to winning again.
We've reached the halfway mark at DSP, and no surprises as to who's in front, Taylor and Murphy from Castrol Toyota.
Coming through in second, the local boys, Johan and Vanna Horn.
Yeah, it was a tight loop, rough outside. Plantations is very tight. But I see Leroy is out with line second, and we just gonna keep it like this, try to finish.
Yes, Leroy Poulter is out, but one man who is still in the game, the celebrity Neil Tovey.
Well, we've been nice. We passed a few guys, so we're hanging in there. You know, some guys have dropped out and just playing it by ear and not trying to get into too clever with situations, calling it as it comes. You know.
With one loop to go, it's Taylor and Murphy followed by the Horns, while Johan van Staden and Mike Lawrenson round off the top three in productions.
As for the specials, two men who are getting rather used to the podium, Quinton and Kali Silveld leading the way. They're followed by the Duplessis and Thompson and Zamatin.
And they're back on track, Taylor and Murphy picking up from where they left off. Taylor saying they've had an amazing run, and it certainly shows.
The same can be said for the Horns. Enjoying life in the ex-Castrol Toyota Hilux, they stay second.
Quinton and Kali Silval taking things cautiously in the second loop. There's really no need to exert themselves as they have a healthy lead.
No caution from Van Staden and Lawrenson. They're absolutely flying.
As are the Duplessis, Carrot and Hardis, currently lying second amongst the specials.
Bad news for Deploy and Janse van Vieren. They're out, meaning Whitehouse and Myburg are up to fourth.
In fifth place, but not for long, Loader Brain and Rian Hueling from Rubicon Racing. They're pulling over because of what appears to be a flat. And that's allowed Fender and Palmer to take over fifth spot. Not great news for De Brain and Hueling. Let's hope they're back up and running soon.
Good news for Schroeder and Badenhorst. They've certainly made up some ground in their Ford Ranger and are now seventh.
Rundle and Cummings having a nightmare run. They lost brakes and experienced two punctures, while they also got caught on stray wire from a pylon. They're well outside the top 10.
Jannie Visser and Joks Leroux declared at the DSP that things were all good, and it certainly seems to be the case here.
The celeb pair. Marsh said it's been a very challenging route, but Neil is handling himself outstandingly well.
And the crowd goes wild as Lance Trethewey and Jeff Minute in the Mortimer Toyota Bat make their way through. They're third in specials.
Fenter and Van Alleman from 4x4 Mega World said they've had to work really hard to get where they are.
More celebrations, and this time for Archie Rutherford and Gerard Schutter. Rutherford enjoying life now that he has a regular nav.
It's been an extremely tough day for the Atlas Copco Ford Racing pair of Gary Berthold and Siegfried Rousseau. They find themselves far behind the leading pack.
Faring a bit better in the specials, Thompson and Zamatin.
These men had a dream run at Moy River. They were third last month, Daniel Brooks and Gavin Gray in their Ducati's property bat. Next up, Barnes and Asher. They've been going along rather nicely despite some gearbox problems. Some new recruits to the Donaldson Cross Country Championship. Derek de Toy and Craig Gray. Behind them, Rob Walk and Ashley Thorne. They've had a lot of punctures on this route, but despite that, this has definitely been one of their better performances. They're second in class.
As we near the finish line, Taylor and Murphy hold a commanding lead after 450 kilometers, followed by the Horns, while the Silvalts are third overall, but first amongst the specials.
And that wraps things up as Taylor and Murphy cruised yet another victory, their second of the season.
In second place, the hometown heroes, Johan and Werner Horn of Malalan Toyota.
Exactly what we wanted, you know, after DNF at Moy River, and it was our own event. This is almost like our own event because, you know, Malalan Toyota put such a big effort into this Nkomazi 450 that to have got a victory here with and also with Johan and Werner being second, I don't think we could have asked for anything better. So yeah, it's a brilliant result for us.
It certainly was brilliant. A tremendous win for the Donaldson Cross Country Championship defending champions, with the Horns getting second, while Van Staden and Lawrenson rounded off the podium.
Over in the specials, no surprises as Quinton and Cully Silvalt do it again in their elegant field bat Bennett.
Today we had a fantastic race. We didn't have to get out of the car once, and that's the trick. I think Elegant Fuel and all the other sponsors are really happy with what we've put together today.
I'm sure they were. The Duplessis finished second for yet another top three finish, while Trethewey and Minute came home in third place. Coming up next month, we cross borders as we head to Twanang for the Toyota Botswana 1000 Desert Race.
It is arguably one of the greatest events on the Donaldson Cross Country Championship, and we'll see you there.
The Donaldson Cross Country Championship brought to you by Donaldson Filtration Systems, a market leader in filtration solutions.